I'm kind of a naturally depressed person. I always noticed that I was less happy than other people growing up. And having depression as your baseline is kind of a problem because depression makes you not want to do anything. And what I realize now is that I would just sort of force myself through things as I grew up and pretend to be okay and increasingly use stress and achievement to get me up in the morning. Because stress and overwhelm is a preferable state to depression in a lot of ways because at least you can show up for life, at least you can get things done, and you don't notice how sad you are. I've watched this process in myself, and I've watched it in my mom, where I stay in survival mode and I can't really exit survival mode even when I have safety around me. Because if I do, that same old depression that I was running from will be there underneath the stress. To opt to leave survival mode was a huge undertaking because it was essentially opting to live my life again in that place of sadness and depression, where I had no motivation to do anything. And I had believed that the only way that it was possible to live my life was to show up stressed, because otherwise my body would not get out of bed. And I have come to learn that this is intimately related with the nervous system. It does have to do with trauma and sadness and grief, but it also has to do with freeze mode. And once I started to understand what freeze mode was, I could be with myself and say, is this grief? Is this sadness? Is this trauma? Or is this feeling that I can't get out of bed about me needing to warm up my nervous system? And I had no skills for that. I had to learn them. I had to try and wake up, try and warm my nervous system. And if that didn't work, well, maybe it is an emotional sadness. And it's really natural to want to milk those positive states of life and to not enter those negative states, the ones that feel really inert and tired and slow. I don't know about you, but I've always felt like I was supposed to be getting something done at all times, that there was always something to prove, that there was always something to earn, and that I felt unworthy and unloved and rejected and abandoned if I wasn't always doing something, which is another part of the survival mode. And it's just a really scary and difficult process to navigate if you're not used to being with yourself. But I guess I just want to say there are so many people who have this same experience. It's extremely common, and it's just living under the surface in our culture.